Coach, there will be time for reflection, certainly as the season goes on. But for what might be the final time in the East Bay, it is opening night of the NFL season here in Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go to wrap up the week on a Monday night.
Come on now, let's go.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
This is Josh Jacobs, the Alabama man, with his first NFL carry. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Well, unless there's a postseason meeting later in the year, this is most likely the final time that the Broncos and Raiders will play in Oakland. Of course, so much history between the two since their inaugural season in the AFL back in 1960. Broncos and Raiders, they've been locked together in the same division, facing off twice a season. And this rivalry also stands as the most common pairing for Monday night games like we have here, 18 times, the most of any two teams.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Check safety, check safety.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Taken from just outside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You're over here. You're over here. Team spill.
Flacco from midfield. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Flacco looks to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 10.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. 2nd year in Oakland for Walter after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, yeah, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. But now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Right down. Wide 85. Raider 2.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Raiders first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Shotgun now for Carr. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Derek Carr, keeping it himself from a yard out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To pass, Flacco. Screen pass to Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And he fires one that's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your...
That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah,
and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now on 2nd and 13. Flacco. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 3rd down. Flacco from the gun. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now it's the backup Kaiser, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me on a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, If they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tahir Whitehead bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 35-yard line.
Down! 180! 45, Mike, 45. I'm coming for you. You mind? 280.
Here's Carr to throw. It's complete to Williams. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Broncos take
We
over
got
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now it's Flacco. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flacco. Now they go screen. It's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Flacco now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Flacco.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. Operating out of the gun. Flacco going deep here for Bryant. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I guarantee you, it's not very good.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Carr now on 1st down. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And this one is right down the middle. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we have reached halftime here in the final game of opening weekend 2019. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Flush to his right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. He'll get this one to Patrick. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Once more, it's Flacco. He'll find Lindsey here. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Flacco under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Brandon Marshall.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Flacco. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Well, you know, you can't get all the points back at once, but baby steps a good start.
A start that was sorely needed because this team looked like they might be out of this one, but getting a touchdown, getting back into it, gives them hope as they move forward.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Phillip Lindsay, 29 yards. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16.
Makes the score Raiders 30, Broncos 14.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Looking to throw on second down. Carr looking downfield for Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 74 yards. As his guys are able to pull a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that will shave one more off this lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. Leaping over him. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again.
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr eluding the pressure right. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And Derek Carr just keeps improving. He can be dangerous not just inside the pocket, but as we see here, outside of it as well.
Kid born in California, played his high school ball in Texas, had quarterback written all over him. Here's Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That's what I do. Yeah, you got motion man. You got motion man right there. 34's the mic. 34's the mic. He's coming. Check in. Check it.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Cortland Sutton, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Extra point from McManus is good, and that will get them one closer. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Once again, it's Jacobs. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now Carr. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. He was brought down there by Will Parks.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. Two division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along to control the clock.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tahir Whitehead make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. Flacco looks to throw. Screen pass to Lindsey. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
From the gun, Flacco. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco. And the Broncos have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
You gonna see me in your life.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Von Miller. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack on 1st down, Carr, and that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here, nearly a 4th pick, and it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was a type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Flacco. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by him.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number one headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller, his second sack of the night. He's back to throw, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Von Miller in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on fourth down. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a first and goal.
I'm coming after you. Monday. Check. Fresno.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's second and 1.
Check hot route. Hot.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. You and I have seen a lot of special comebacks. This one, pretty much unbelievable. Roaring all the way back from that huge deficit, now in the driver's seat.
Take the numbers out of it. It seemed insurmountable. It seemed monumental, like no chance you could get that done, but they did. Let's go back to the 92 NFL season, 93 playoffs. Houston, Buffalo, in Buffalo. Houston with the monster lead, and here come the Bills all the way back to win it.
Led by Frank Reich, correct?
Yes, Frank Reich was the quarterback. He had done it in college a few times. He did it in the pros with the Bills. How old were you then?
I was 10. But I remember it. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr, he's going to let it fly. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, but now I'm listening to you. So for Denver, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.